We haven't seen much from the Colorado contingent of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders since the Buffalo's Alamo Bowl loss on December 28th. We'll get our first pre-draft workout look at them on Friday during Colorado's Pro Day. Of course, Hunter's that guy that can do just about everything on the football field, unlike we've seen anything before. And Shedeur Sanders, a lot of debate over where he belongs in this draft and how much teams really like him as an NFL player. Josh Edwards is all over the draft process for us, with a lot of that uncertainty still about even where Hunter will go in addition to Sanders. All right, Josh, these guys have obviously been very selective about where and how they would work out for NFL teams. How much do you think we'll see from them tomorrow at Colorado's Pro Day?
Yeah, I think we will see a good amount because this is what they've been building for this entire process. Colorado is all about coming out to Boulder, checking out the talent that they have, and obviously they have two of the best in this draft class. Even if you don't follow this draft closely, you know two things about Shedeur Sanders. You know that he's confident, and you know that he's an accurate passer because he had one of the highest accuracy ratings from this past season. So this should be a great environment for him to kind of show what he can do. And if he can unleash it a little bit down the field, show a little bit of that arm strength, working through this pre-scripted plan that they will have for him as a quarterback, I think this is an area where he could excel. And it's similar to Travis Hunter. I think both of these guys are positioned to do really well at the Colorado Pro Day.
I mean, look, after one, and that's Tennessee taking Cam Ward, we just don't really know exactly how this is going to unfold, which makes it interesting 3 weeks from today as we sit here on HQ. On April 1st, Josh, you tweeted that you were leaning towards the Browns taking Abdul Carter with the second overall pick, but now you think it's going to be Travis Hunter. Was that April Fool's? You messing with us?
No, it was a realization that I had throughout this process. And I'll tell you what, these teams have done a fantastic job not letting anybody inside of their decision making, because Tennessee, yeah, we think they're going to take Cam Ward at number 1 overall, but we don't know for certain. We could still see them possibly go non-quarterback. We could see them trade down. Those options are still on the table. But for me, at number 2 overall, I've been Abdul Carter this entire process, the pass rusher from Penn State. But the way that Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Browns, spoke about Travis Hunter here in recent days at those owners' meetings in Florida leads me to believe that they hold that player in high regard. They're very analytically driven. And having a player that is capable of playing on both sides of the ball, I think would factor very highly in that conversation. So yeah, I mean, we're 3 weeks away from the NFL draft and I'm starting to change my tune, but maybe that's exactly what Cleveland wants.
Do you think Cleveland would use him on both sides of the ball?
I think they would predominantly use him as a wide receiver, and then they would put him in at cornerback in specific situations. If there was a specific matchup that they thought he did well. I will say that if any of these teams were positioned to truly play him on both sides of the ball, I think Cleveland is one of those candidates because they have Martin Emerson on the boundary, but Emerson really hasn't given them the consistent play that you need from that position. So I could see them playing him both ways. I just don't know that that's a feasible long-term solution.
Yeah, I'd love to see it happen, or at least tried every now and then. All right, Josh, I think you only have 10 prospects in this draft with a first-round grade. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Shedeur is not one of them. You've got him projected to go still top 10 because we know how teams feel about quarterbacks this time of year. We've got to get one, and you've got Shedeur going number 9 in your latest mock draft to the Saints. How come?
I think the Saints make a lot of sense. Kellen Moore, obviously, being his first year in that organization, I could see him wanting somebody that he can build around. And I don't think taking a day 2 quarterback and throwing him in the conversation with kind of the mediocrity that they already have there with Derek Carr, with Spencer Rattler from last year, I think they would be more inclined to take a bigger swing at the position and maybe identify a player that can be their quarterback of the future. This is obviously a team that continues to push their salary cap woes down the road. So for them to get a quarterback in the building on a rookie contract starts to allow them to have some of that flexibility in terms of cash spending that they just have not had in recent years. So I think that's an ideal scenario for both parties. Playing in a dome where Shedeur is, a little bit more controlled environment, I think would be best for him. So I think that's a great pairing for both of these parties.
And so, Josh, if the Saints do that, you would see him sitting at least for a year behind Carr?
I think you would have to, just the way that Derek Carr's contract is structured at this point in time. Reasonably speaking, they're not going to be able to get out from that probably for another year or two. So in an ideal world, I think you allow Sanders to kind of sit and develop and, continue his upward trajectory as well. Whereas, you're taking a player in the first round, often that player is being asked to shoulder the pressure of an organization. And if you're in a situation where you have an established veteran like Derek Carr that can allow that player to not absorb all of that pressure, I think it's perfect for Sanders. I think it's ideal for New Orleans as well.